Okay, Browns 30, Ravens 31, 3 seconds left. Dustin Hopkins, I think, has like a 30 some odd yard field goal. 3 seconds left. Browns win this. They are tied for second with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Going into next weekend's game against the Steelers, possibly to take a tie for first place. 41 yards from Dustin Hopkins. Come on, please. Please, please. I can't show the game because it is copyrighted, but you will see my reaction here. Come on, please. 41 yards, Dustin Hopkins, middle of the field, straight down the middle. Come on. Okay. Here we go. You can see I'm shaking right now, so I'm sorry if it's shaking on your screen. Snap back, ball down, kick is up. It's good! It's good! The Browns win! The Browns win! The Browns have beaten the Ravens. There's a flag! It's on the Ravens! It's on the Ravens, I think. It's on the Ravens! It's on the Ravens! The Browns win! The Browns win! Let's go! The Cleveland Browns have beaten the Baltimore Ravens! And we are tied for second place! Oh, let's go! Let's go! After you've done everything in your power to lose this football game, somehow, someway, the Cleveland Browns have won. Deshaun Watson leads the Cleveland Browns to victory after having probably his worst start as the Browns quarterback, worse than the Houston Texans game, his first game back from 700 days, worse game than the Pittsburgh Steelers game from early on this season. This was the worst he played in the first half, and somehow, someway, in the second half of this game, he did not miss a single throw. He made the biggest play of the game to get the Browns into field goal range, and then just led the team to a victory. This was the game Deshaun Watson needed to go and prove to Cleveland Browns fans that he could actually be the guy. It wasn't perfect, but I will take this victory. The Browns are 6-3. You know what? I'm not going to get too emotional. I'm not going to get too emotional or too overhyped about Deshaun Watson. He was horrible the first half. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. I am not saying that he was good, but the second half, he was damn near spot on the entire time. He had his first touchdown pass to Elijah Moore, and he made probably the biggest play of the game for the Cleveland Browns when they needed it the most. He scrambled and got like around 15 yards to get the Browns in a field goal range. When Jerome Ford, too, I will say this. Jerome Ford has been terrible the entire season. He has been terrible the entire year outside of two home run runs. But this was his best game as a pro. This was his best game by far of the season. This was his best career game. And I'm so glad that after what we saw with the Seattle game, the Cleveland Browns decided in the fourth quarter when you needed it the most, Kareem Hunt got you the yards that you needed and he didn't turn the ball over. That is what I like to see from Kevin Stefanski. I think Kevin Stefanski, outside of maybe the field goal, the decision to not go for the field goal for 60 yards before halftime, I think this was a great game by Kevin Stefanski. After every single opportunity that the special teams and the defensive backs gave to the Baltimore Ravens, I think 4 or 5 third down penalties that they had to keep the drive going. After you had a horrible fumbled punt by James Prochet, and after you had a horrible pick six by Deshaun Watson, Kevin Stefanski rallied the Browns to victory. I will give Kevin Stefanski credit because I think he called the great play calls at the right time. This last drive, I think, was probably his best sequenced drive he ever put together as a Browns coach. Seriously, with the Ravens defense and their power on defense, to be able to do what he did and call the game plan and the plays that he called on multiple third downs in this drive, in this final drive to get to this game-winning field goal, perfect game by Kevin Stefanski. Just about. So Kevin Stefanski, kudos to you for this last drive because that was a masterclass by Kevin Stefanski on this last drive. Deshaun Watson was not the best, but when you needed him to be great, he was great for you. He was amazing in the second half. He got you a touchdown. He kept you in the game. He made one of the best plays to keep the Browns in the game in order to get them into field goal range. Jerome Ford had one of his best games as a pro, probably the best game as a pro, and was terrific. Kareem Hunt scored for another consecutive game this season. Elijah Moore was great. David Njoku was fantastic. I mean, the Cleveland Browns somehow, someway, after years of finding ways to lose this game, previous years, even last year, this was a game that the Browns would lose. This is a game that the Browns would somehow find a way to lose. And after being down by 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, the Cleveland Browns, Kevin Stefanski, Deshaun Watson, Jerome Ford, and everybody else around the team rallied together, and they got the win over probably the best team in the NFL and Baltimore Ravens. Now, Kevin Stefanski, I would say, has 2 signature wins this season. He has the San Francisco game with P.J. Walker as a backup quarterback, and now he has this game against the Baltimore Ravens with no Nick Chubb. 2 of his tackles are gone. We forgot to mention that, too. 2 of his tackles are gone. Really, 3 if you think about it, because Jack Conklin has been out since the first game of the year. DeJuan Jones just got out after last week, and then Jed Wills was out. So you're starting pretty much your 3rd and 4th string practice squad guys at your tackle position who were terrible. James Hudson was terrible today. He had four penalties against him. I mean, and somehow, some way, the Browns were able to find a way to win. They were able to find a way to rush for over 150 yards on offense, have over 220 yards passing on offense. The Cleveland Browns somehow found a way to win this game. Kevin Stefanski somehow found a way to win this game. And I do not want to hear anything from Browns fans for the rest of the week. Okay, I'll save until next week. But I do not want to hear anything from Browns fans talking about how Kevin Stefanski is a mediocre, or not even a mediocre. He's a horrible coach. You don't win this game without the game plan of Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski has had to go through so much shit this season with Nick Chubb going down, Jack Conklin going down, DeJuan Jones, Jed Wills. You had Denzel Ward go out. You had Martin Emerson go down. Juan Thornhill left in the middle of this game. He had so many injuries. And somehow, someway, Kevin Stefanski was able to find a way to get the Browns in a position to win the game. And the defense came up with some big plays when you needed them to. Myles Garrett had 2 sacks. He's got 7 straight seasons with 10-plus sacks. Greg Newsome finally gets his first interception. He returns it to the house for a pick 6. I mean, the Browns, when you needed them to make plays, they made plays. But then also when you needed them to make plays, they didn't make any plays. And instead, they made the worst play possible and gave the Ravens points. But for some reason, somehow, someway, the Cleveland Browns were able to win in Baltimore. You're 6-3. You're almost in the driver's seat. You just need to beat Pittsburgh at home next weekend on Sunday. I would love to see if that game gets flexed to Sunday night, because I think it would be a terrific game to see. Maybe if Baltimore loses next on Thursday night, it's a shot to get in and tie for first place in the AFC North. I'm just at a loss for words. I think this was Kevin Stefanski's one of his best games as a Brown. This is just insane. It was insane. But yeah, we're going to be talking about it for the rest of the week. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like Cleveland sports content, you like Brown stuff like this, make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. 6-3. The Browns beat the Ravens on a absolute insane ending, an insane game. Whew. Wow. Go Browns. I'll see you guys all in another video. Take care.